Sie was pacem.
Welcome back here at Tribun, and if you take a look down below, you see my son's got a new haircut, a normal one again, at last, thanks God. And oh, okay.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into the
episode.
invasion.
You may have seen the red one indicating that there will be more videos to this game than usual. Would be because
Oh,
we
let's
actually
jump to the start maybe.
Yeah, let's begin with the
It's a
start.
little bit confusing though.
Yeah. So let's go to animated mode.
Yeah, you're the dealer.
Yeah, I am.
And the normal setup again, it's one of my, if not my absolute favorite move at the beginning, because I'm keeping the two defenders here for my archer, and I'm getting pretty agile at the beginning.
This remembers me at the last game.
Ah, yeah, okay.
This game, where I went boop, 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 boop. And we'll make a revision of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a little bit feisty here in the beginning.
Okay. Ooh, smooth moving.
You was a little bit uncertain, huh?
Yeah.
Well, so we have this position. I don't know. The setup continues a little bit.
But it's quite new. We never had that situation on the board. A little foam carpet here to the left of mine, and so the Sagittarius gets stuck. There's simply no way through without losing material. And here is an attack. Okay, it's defended at the moment, but the first pressure is on.
So, what did we do? Oh,
what?
Interesting.
Because if you lose, it's a nice move. Because if I am going for an attack, you will have a status here, and but no.
Huh?
It's I don't know.
I don't think you really get the point. But it worked somehow. You didn't get the maybe you did get
Wait. You see, there was something wrong with the game here. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I didn't remember this. Oh, is maybe the playback broken? The playback file?
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
sure. Let's get back to the beginning. Sorry, sometimes that's life. Okay. We're doing this, step ahead, and the attack.
Now you get to see how we deal with stupid stuff like this.
And now, this is what I did. Yes. This is what I did. Okay.
Now it makes more sense what I did.
Definitely.
That I went here, you did something over there, and I took.
Yeah.
I
had no eye for this.
Oh, we can switch back to animated moves.
Yeah, okay.
And now the threat is quite simple. Let me pick this up. The threat is
the
to
center
go
file, yeah.
And it's just defended by 2, so 4 would remain. You know the game. That would be not good. And that's why I defended this threat. But there was a second threat. Would you like to explain it?
Caught on camera.
Well,
What exactly did you mean?
sorry.
Don't mind.
In this position, you used this threat against me.
Okay.
Because if I take, you take. The
Ah,
line opens
ah.
up.
Okay, I'm getting old. Oh, thank you, my son, for explaining my gameplay.
Well, you set it up in the first place,
Yeah.
so maybe you're not so old after all.
Well, the
It's
last
quite an
days were a
interesting
little.
idea, this
Hmm.
discovered attack, you
Yeah,
know?
that's a nice one.
Yes. I completely blanked on that.
Hmm.
And I took, and
So,
I was
and
like,
damn.
oh, this side exists. Huh. Well,
But, well, and here comes a very, very important thing
concept here.
about our concept in Tribun, because the ballista is nice to strike somewhere, but on the same file, it cannot return back to the original position without an enemy on its position. So in this way, you have the ability to distract the ballista. Okay, I took 3 pieces, but now my ballista is in complete clown at the left flank, and you see, I'm stuck here. I simply cannot move.
And my idea was, when I saw this, I was like, look at this moron. Let's assume I had this in mind. Well, then I would be like, yeah, taking this will kill these, basically, for
Hmm.
the rest of the game. And so I played as if I would have foreseen this. I didn't.
Hmm.
Um, but then I played against this guy, basically just rendering this stupid.
Hmm.
And what I did is I almost completed that ring, first and foremost. Um,
Hmm.
I actually was joking in this position, no, in this position, that I should make something like this and jump here just for the, so we
The
could
Ring of
name
Fire.
the, yeah, I was like, yeah, I should do this really because we could
This
say
is a
like the
nice
ring
one.
to rule them all or something.
Yeah, One
King of
Ring.
the Rings. Um, but that is not what's happened. Sorry.
By the way, what is Gollum saying in the original version? Mein Schatz?
Yeah, and
I don't
I
know.
used my treasure.
Ah,
Um,
my treasure. Okay.
I used my treasure to defend against this
Yeah,
threat.
yeah, okay. I I was protected, and maybe that would have made sense because this way I would get my ballista back.
Yeah,
Uh, but I thought something like, hey, I have no possibility. I have to go here. Um, okay, stepping out of the way was not at hand because the Tribune was in the way, in the line of fire. So, but this was definitely the second dumbest move in the game from me.
by the way, I really thought this would. Oh, this was very disrespectful and very wrong. Because you see, I have this army
Yeah.
that is just wanting to get on an attack and quickly combine and crush the enemy. And you just take one piece, one.
Yeah, one
Like,
piece.
why? So I attacked you,
Bludgeon down the enemy with my mace in the hand.
and
Drunken.
I just went for it. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And this one's still a complete idiot.
Yeah,
Standing here,
and
this
defending with
the
this
complete
also.
firepower. Yeah, blocked out, defended, double. It's. I mean, in this position, the game is almost over. What do I have here? Some scattered
Hope to
peasants
not die.
around going to search for beetroots or what?
Yeah, the thing I liked about this move, I really thought you would be more safe here,
Mm,
because I thought you could maybe run over here, and I wouldn't have a lot of, a lot of army here. I'm quite blocked by this line. And the reason why I thought this was good for me is that I can move here, and that's very important. If you have something where, like a ballista or an equus, and you attack it with an even amount of attackers, and you can't kill it, it will always attack here.
mm,
And that is very bad, because in this situation you can't take both ways. You can take 2 or 4,
mm.
but that would lead to you dying. So you have to do something else. And
Yeah.
attacking is quite a good
But
shot.
I would like to take one step back. So taking yours and mine, and maybe something like this would have made sense because it covers the spot where you want to arrive.
Yeah, but then I take. Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay, taking that. Yeah, okay,
oh,
yeah, well, I'm forked. Okay,
you have a lot of problems.
obviously.
And
Ah,
if you would
okay,
combine here,
or combining this way. I'm defending this and attacking your Tribune. Ha!
yeah, that is definitely better.
And you should not make the mistake to go here because I would come with tempo here. But
Yes,
you
I don't know.
ah okay.
I think it's
That's
very bad. Um, but
it is.
um, and look at my time. I spent
The
40
first
minutes.
arrow is a nice one, jumping around like
Not because I did not
a
see
stupid
this.
witch.
I was calculating. Especially here, like, look at my time. It's 14 minutes. Now it's 10. And the reason was that I was not sure what I would do here.
But huh? From here I cannot go there.
Not this.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what to do here.
yeah, but I would have been dead.
Huh? Oh, huh? What was I? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
Okay,
Don't say it's a mistake with it, with you again.
but here, repair. This is
Ah,
something. Ah, I will
something fishy
definitely
going
fix
on.
this one in. Yeah, that's
Well,
not good.
yeah, I don't
We
know.
will fix it. But we
We'll
have the
fix.
repair button. If something is suspicious, then yeah.
But that's what I worried about.
Hmm.
And the reason was because I had no idea what to do if if you could survive this. No clue. This is very venomous because you can't move at all. You can't move here, here, or here, and you can't even move this one because I would go here.
Hmm.
So I thought, well,
Yeah, and
that
that the
could be
last
good.
one you showed was an X. I'm not sure if our audience noticed this because this little peasant here is very important. He blocks the way to the attacker, the final attacker on the Tribune,
He blocks
and
this.
covers the withdrawing field here, and this is simply no escape field because the Tribune cannot combine here. And here, jumping here, everything is covered, and this would be next. Just stepping this little unit aside.
But I wasn't sure how I would deal with this.
Yeah, because you cannot place
You could even
here.
do something like this. What would I do now? This doesn't work anymore because you could go here. And I had just no clue, and that's why I spent so long on thinking about this, because I was so uncertain if this was winning. I thought if he goes here, I will have to win by the virtue of killing everything I can.
Slaughtering down my complete army. I mean, if you would find a way to come here, covered, and you are attacking.
But all that was
okay, but
you didn't. You spent like what? You even gained time, and I was like, huh. Wow. And
hey, I'm up in time.
And the reason why I thought
seldom.
This would be bad is you stood there a moment ago, but now my army arrived, and now you're standing there again.
Hmm.
And I am very proud of the next sequence because it had nothing to do with attacking the enemy.
Yeah, but you were not in a hustle. Why? You had all the time in the world because I was completely stuck.
Yes, that's what I loved about this, because I could have taken here, but what then, you know? But this way, I brought my whole army, and I really thought this was going to be good. And
this was completely
so much in this.
This was dumb. May I please? Yes. I mean, at this point, maybe something like this would have been really good because I'm attacking here and I could take Impero this guy here, and then I have a very nice defending unit because, well, Sagittarius combined with an Equus is quite powerful.
And you disrespected me so much in this game.
Why did we choose this game?
This is the second time you did this. And I did it a second time, just bringing another piece to the party. You took something.
Yeah.
This is the Tribun equivalent of giving someone the middle finger. An army arrives and you're taking one thing, just for no reason at all. And I thought, what? I'm attacking you now. What are you going to do? You cannot move here or here.
Oh. Well, I can move there. This is the last spot I can take. And maybe I could combine up. Yeah.
You can't move here, and this was covered all the time.
Okay,
and you
this
can...
one is not necessary here.
Yeah,
I cannot jump this far.
Yeah, I want to illustrate the point that he defended, and by rotating here, he still defends this hexagon.
Let's not confuse the audience. Maybe we show the escape fields of my Tribune, and you see I could have jumped here. This is defended by the Equus. This is also defended. This is defended by the Sagittarius. This is defended by the Sagittarius. This is defended by nobody. So I could combine up. This is not defended, and this one is defended by another Equus from the back ranks. So two fields, two choices, combining or stepping aside.
But what I wanted to tell you is that I attack this, and if I move here, I still attack this.
This is a nice
around a hexagon.
Yeah.
That's what I want. What I was trying to say.
It's really a nice pattern. If you see this, here is a black field, a gray field, and a white field, and you can jump around and still changing the color complex.
Anyways,
Yo.
what did you do? I don't remember. You made a run for it. And I
And you cut off.
silent. No attack. Just making it very uncomfortable to play this. And at this point, you have very limited options of moving. You can't
Almost
go here,
none.
here, or here. Because the Sagittarius, because the Aquis.
I can combine here and I can go there. These are the only open spots.
And you made you tried to go here so that you could make a Balista hero here.
Yeah, okay, but here was still defended, and I didn't foresaw this, okay, because attacking and covering the last escape field. So this was a brilliant move.
So this is
Swift and precise.
Here. This is on both of these are covered here. And this was very tactical.
Yeah.
I think it really illustrates what this game can offer. So the Ballista that was just kept in jail.
Yeah, forever. And this was one of the most complex next situations we ever saw in our videos till that point, I would say, because from your army, almost every piece is involved in the attack.
Yes. And like back here, where was it? I think really the turning point was this move.
Nah.
It gave me so much time, and time is precious, as Kasparov said in.
He shall know he was one of the best chess players ever.
And
the first mistaking move was, I thought this was a real nice tactic by discovering this attack and taking the piece, but if you do it with a ballista, please think about it twice, 3 times. Is your unit stuck at the site, or is it free and can move and come back to the center and engage into the fight?
I think this would have been better than taking here.
Yeah.
Because
everything.
Attack this, it's not defend. Oh, it's not defended at all. And the second thing is you can now move.
Yeah. 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 But
and
I am still learning, my friend.
Yeah, I'm too. And I hope you learn too. I think that this whole situation was very instructive.
But you are much younger. You will learn faster. That's unfair.
I wouldn't say it's unfair. But we at some point. Yes, I remember now where. I think it was here, or was it here?
He's always tossing the cookies around.
I think it was here where we jumped in and we tried to figure out if this position is actually lost. Maybe you can make a comeback here, you know? This is very weak, and you maybe have seen our last video, Surgeon, and Ballistas screw me up, it turns out. And
but it shows very nicely that the service, servus, I hate it. YouTube always struggles with the translation of service. SERVICE. No, it's no. But okay, one servus is enough to block the way, so it's very effective against a ballista.
Well, let's maybe get into the welcome screen.
Yep.
Goodbye screen.
Welcome here at Tribun.
We can maybe end on a bad pun, because, you know, this service served me well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a flat one.
Despite this lack of humor, we hopefully see you again. See you soon.
On Tribun.